Hello and welcome back to more Football Manager 2019 with me, Mr. Grand 2, and episode 34 of Monaco. Last time then we ended with a disappointing 2-0 defeat to Saint Etienne, which knocked us out at the semi-final stage of the Coupe de France. It remains the only piece of silverware, domestically anyway, that we have yet to win in the save. But we do now have a chance with the final two games of the season to end the year on a very, very big high that didn't look possible a few months ago. Following some results earlier on in the season, a September draw against Angers, draws against Lyon, a defeat to Marseille, and a draw and defeat to PSG, as well as some disappointing draws in February against teams lower than us in the table, it had looked like we were not going to retain our title that we've held for the last two seasons. But we knew that whatever happened, we just had to keep going. We had to keep winning our matches and hope that PSG slipped up in some way. And we've fulfilled our end of the bargain. We've kept winning our matches since last time. A 3-0 win against Troyes, first of all. Adrien Rabiot desperate to earn a new contract, which I've accidentally promised him. Hopefully he just forgets that one. And two from Keita Balde securing the win there. And then a 2-0 win against our arch rivals Nice. And this was one that looked to be heading to a draw with no highlights in the first half. It was 0-0. Things were going slightly awry. But then we had what could well prove to be our own Vincent Kompany moment from Matthias de Ligt. Let's take a look at it. The ball came out to Sidibe, flicked in across, headed away, and de Ligt with an absolute thunderbolt first-time volley. Keita Balde sealed it with a penalty. And those two results meant that we'd played two games more than PSG at the time because they've still got Champions League commitments. Of course, they've actually been knocked out of the Champions League by Valencia on away goals, which is certainly interesting. So they had to play two games in a couple of days. They had to win those games to keep up with us. And the pressure, it seems, has started to toll. Well, they began with a 2-0 win against relegation-threatened Nantes. Fairly routine, but then a 0-0 draw with Toulouse was all they could manage in their most recent match. And what that means is very, very simple. If we have a look at the Ligue 1 table, with two matches left to play, we find ourselves 4 points clear of PSG, which means quite simply that if we win one of our two matches today against Le Havre and against Lille, we will retain our title that for so long this season looked impossible. And when we just compare our past positions, we've only been top for 3 match days of the season. That was only because PSG had some games in hand. We've been chasing them for so much of the season, pretty much the whole year. Certainly this whole stretch since the turn of the year, we've been having to chase them down. It looked impossible at one stage. We were about 8 points behind, but we've managed to claw it back. It's not over yet, but if we win today, we will be champions once more. So if we are to win the title today against Le Havre, we'll be doing it without Keita Balde. He's suspended, but otherwise we are at full strength. Lafont is in goal, Mendy, Martinez, de Ligt and Sidibe at the back, of course. Clark on the left, Skov on the right, Rabiot and Tielemans in the middle, Golovin and Schick up front. Now theoretically this should be an easy win, but we do have a tendency to muck things up, don't we, when it comes down to the crucial moment, be it a Champions League final or a Champions League quarterfinal or wherever. Le Havre are one of the actually few teams that have beaten us in the league in the save so far. But an early chance for us, free kick in from Skov, he feeds Golovin, goes for a run, Sidibe, plenty of rest since last time, Sidibe puts the ball just over the bar. Well, a hopeful ball punted forwards and Le Havre are coming through, and wow, I didn't quite see his name. Diamantakos up front, it hits the post. Mendy's got a bit of an injury. We might have to take him off in a second. But we survive an early scare. PSG have taken the lead in their game, so if we were to draw this, it would not be enough. We need 3 points to make sure of it today. Well, once again, a very slow start from us. That Le Havre woodwork highlight is the only highlight of the first half from either side. I mean, let's not choke this. Let's not bottle this, please. We're right there. Sidibe's nervous. Just go out there and play the football that you know you can play. Ball over the top to Diamantakos. He's going to score, isn't he? Lafont actually makes a save this time. That was lucky. Free kick, though, for Troy headed away by Delict. I mean, nothing happening. We can't afford to draw this and just hope we beat Lille, because Lille are more of a difficult side. We need to be winning this. We should be winning this. Skov has it. We need a moment of magic from him. Rabiot, Mendy with a shot. It's gone in. Somehow it's hit the goalkeeper. That looked like one of those highlights where it just goes over. Shots from that distance always seem to go over, but not this time. How on earth has that happened? Mendy, speculative shot. The goalkeeper's just stood there. He's completely misjudged the flight of the ball. What an absolute fluke goal that could hand us the league title. Furland Mendy with the unlikeliest of shots. And Mason Mount, of all people, has equalised for Stade Rennais, which makes our job even easier. They're now drawing with PSG. Mendy and Martinez both having a little bit of a tough time with knocks at the moment. I've not made any subs again. That could cost us. I think I probably should, but I don't want to. I want to seal this, and then we'll play a fully rotated team against Lille. 4 minutes of injury time, 3 minutes of injury time left. Rabiot going for the shot himself. Maybe Jack Clark is there, puts it wide. Is that going to be the final highlight? 2 minutes left. 1 minute left. Is there going to be a sting in the tail, or are we going to just about get over the line with a fluke hit? Tielemans has been tackled. There's 8 seconds left. Hopeful ball forward to Le Havre. It's gone out, and that, I think, is going to be it. We've not made any substitutes again, but I don't care. We'll just rest everyone for the last game of the season, because we don't need to win it. We've won it here. Le Havre 0, Monaco 1. What a fluke way to win it, but we won it. 3 years in a row we are Ligue 1 champions, and it looked, of all of our titles, this was the least likely. Both of the last 2 years have kind of been not necessarily a procession, but we never looked in danger of losing. But this year has been a real struggle. PSG have improved massively. They look to be running away with it, but we've clawed them back. We've showed real grit and fight, and we have seen them off. 1-0 win against Le Havre for us. They, I think, must have only drawn with Stade Rennais anyway. Yes, they did. So both those results mean, for sure, we are champions of France for the 3rd year running, which from Monaco is pretty ridiculous. 1 game to go against Lille. We can play a fully rotated side, rest everybody, and just relax and enjoy our 3rd straight league title. Well, with that, we've won the treble, of course, the Trophée des Champions and the Coupe de la Ligue. That's 2 years in a row we've won those 3 trophies and nothing else. So a double treble of sorts. Not quite. I wanted to win the Coupe de France and the Champions League, but I definitely wanted to win the Coupe de France. Well, despite the fact that we have struggled at times this season and found ourselves only just coming over the line to win the league title, having been behind for so much this season, apparently it's actually quite record-breaking. If we win against Lille tomorrow, then we will get 98 points, which would break the League One record for points, which is 97, which we set, I think, last season. That's kind of surprising. Also, if we win, then we will break the record for most victories in the league, also held by us, I'm assuming last season as well, with 31. So, despite the fact that it's felt like kind of a step back in some ways, actually, PSG have really upped their game, and that's forced us to up our game as well, and actually, we've done quite well. So, with the title wrapped up, we can go into our final league game of the season at Lille, safe in the knowledge that whatever happens, we will be fine. It would be nice to get those records, but I'm not especially fussed. So, a fully rotated side, chance for some of the players who don't get to play as much to have a go, especially in the run-in. They've not really had much of an opportunity, most of them, except for Hendricks and Tonali. So, good opportunity for them to back up their claims for a place in the squad next year. So, Rajkovic is going to be in goal. Bareka and Mamana, Glick and Hendricks is going to be the back four. This could well be Kamil Glick's last game for the club. His contract is up. I probably should have sold him last summer, but I kind of wanted to keep him around because he's an influential presence in the dressing room. But his contract expires at the end of June. He's 33. He's still pretty solid, but I think it's probably time to let him go. Clark and Lopez are going to be on the wings with Hendricks and Tonali in the middle. Maria is going to be an attack in midfield with Pietro Pellegrini up front. Well, the final day of the season, everyone's excited in the crowd, I'm assuming. I guess most of the players are already thinking about going on their holidays. I think, wasn't it in the FIFA games, Martin Tyler's always like in the final day of the season, it's like, oh, everyone's wearing fancy dress in the crowd. Does that still happen? Does that happen in real life? I don't know. I'm not sure. Free kick from Ronnie Lopez to open things off into the hands of the goalkeeper. And a chance maybe for Lille to break here. Nicolas Pepe, they're playing a full-strength side. Nicolas Pepe across to Samuel, puts it just wide. What would you even dress as if you were going to watch Monaco play? I don't know. Lopez hits the bar with a free kick. He wants a goal today. He is attracting attention from other clubs, and I might well let him go. We'll have to wait and see. It's come to Maria and Pelayo Maria, who hasn't had much of a look in this season. Hopefully more game time for him next year. Opens the scoring on the final day of the season. Snapshot in. Clark with the assist as well. He's not played as much this year either. Certainly not recently. But good opening goal from us there. Henriks the ball in towards Clark, and Jack Clark has a goal of his own. 2-0, and looks like we're heading for that record. That would be nice. Simple tap in from Clark on the volley. Very nice finish. Lille coming forwards now. Zeka finds Leao out to Samuel. Ball across. It's surely going to be a goal, and it is. Nicolas Pepe into the far post. Rajkovic, not the best goalkeeping there. Probably could have kept that one out. Let's have a look and see how good of a finish it was from Pepe. Potential replacement for Lopez, actually, if he goes. He's been very, very prolific this season, has Pepe. Simple header, and, well, it was a good header, but you think Rajkovic could have probably kept that out. Henriks with another throw in, headed away. Maria's there to make it 3-1, and he does. Absolutely loving life. Our Pelayo Maria and Jack Clark here on the final day of the season. Henriks as well, actually. Some good long throws from him. He probably feels quite hard done by, actually. Most of our coaches say he's better than Sidibe, but I felt Sidibe's been more consistent, but he's getting on a little bit now, so Henriks could well find more opportunities next season. A chance once more for Lille. It's a very action-packed game. Rajkovic with the save. Fans definitely getting their money's worth today. Obviously, this game is away from home, but one thing I'd potentially like to do over the summer is to see if the board are going to let us expand the stadium. We'll have a look once all the summaries come through and see how packed out the Stade Louis II has been this season, but I think it's been much better than previously. So potentially the board will be willing to sanction a stadium expansion, but I don't want to do that at the risk of any potential FFP or other sanctions from lack of funds. So we need to be careful with that. We're not the richest club in the world. Despite having a sugar daddy owner, we're still not actually the richest team in the world. And that is that then, a 3-1 win. Very impressive from some of the more backup players away at Lille. And we end the league season with a win. 98 points, 31 wins, new records for the league and the club in both those categories. And very, very nice to see. 14.63 million for finishing top of the league. Not bad at all. Let's check on the old finances before we think about transfer business. And, well, we haven't had the sponsorship come through yet, but 48 million, not much. I've got a 76 million transfer budget. My targets for the summer really are a better box-to-box midfielder to replace Rabiot. He's not been great this year. Maybe a better backup left-back to replace Barreca. Other than that, probably just some regens if we can find them. We are lacking a lot of depth when it comes to younger players in certain positions. We've got a centre-back that's pretty good, a striker that's pretty good, plenty of midfielders, but wingers and fullbacks, I would say, are the positions that I'd definitely like to see if we can get, and a goalkeeper as well. Wingers, fullbacks and a goalkeeper are the positions I'd like to get some wonder kids in, just to help out if things go wrong with injuries, because I think, well, when we had both Sidibe and Henriks injured, we didn't really have another right-back. If we had a young 18-year-old regen right-back that we could put in there, then that would be all right, but we didn't. So those are areas we need to look to improve. So the overall best 11 then, let's have a look and see. Schick has moved in there, which is excellent. He's been very, very good this season for us. Otherwise, pretty much as you would expect. Mamana still holding off Lisandro Martinez. I don't think that will last into next season, but everyone else, the standard 11 that we've been playing for the last couple of years. End of season awards, Robert Skov, Player of the Year again. Of course he is. 50% of the vote there. You can't question that one at all. Our goal of the season, Keita Balde, I would have given it to De Ligt's goal personally, but Keita Balde gets that one. Signing of the season, Patrick Schick, 64 million, well spent for him. Young Player of the Season, Matthias De Ligt. I just want to check Schick's final tally in the end for us. 15 goals in the league and a total of 23 goals. Maybe not as many as you'd like for a £64 million player, but pretty good considering his previous goal scoring records, considering what Pellegrini did last season. I'm happy with that. He chipped in with some very important goals when we needed, and definitely a good pickup for us. The fans' team of the year, pretty much what you would expect, except for the fact that Barreca has managed to sneak his way in there in place of Ferland Mendy. Slightly random, but there we go. And what do we say to them next season? I think all we can say is we need to win it again next year. We've won it 3 years in a row. We can't accept anything less than the league title, even if we do fall short. And it's certainly possible. PSG pushed us all the way this year. We have to at least aim to do that. Well, this makes me feel slightly better about what happened in the Champions League. In the end, Valencia have won. The surprise winners, surprise package of the Champions League for sure. A 2-1 win in extra time against Manchester United. PSG don't win, we don't win, but Valencia, the team that beat us, do. So that's somewhat encouraging. Both of the last 2 years, we have lost the Champions League to the eventual winners. A bunch more money for that, and even more exciting, we've also lost the Coupe de France to the eventual winners. Saint-Etienne have beaten PSG. How on earth has that happened? Are we going to see it on the 2-1 win? Despite having 10 men for the entire second half, Saint-Etienne have beaten PSG, and PSG win absolutely nothing once again. We won the Trophy de Champions, the League and the League Cup. Saint-Etienne win the Coupe de France, and PSG did not win the Champions League. Valencia did. So Thomas Tuchel, surely he's done for now. I've not really thought about that because it looked like we're going to win the league, but surely his time in the capital is up. As you can see, we have got the Nations League semi-final against Spain coming up very rapidly. That is going to be next episode. We'll do a sort of 2 bonus episodes with France and a bit of transfer stuff as well. We've got, of course, the Nations League and the Confederations Cup to play. But I really would like the end of season awards to happen now. I don't think they're going to happen until the relegation playoff is done. But Diego Costa wins the Golden Boot for the Champions League. Keita Balde second there. Balde's in the team of the year for the Champions League as well. Very nice. I don't think we're going to get the end of season awards until after the relegation playoff. So we're going to end the episode there. And thank you very much for watching. We've won the league for 3 years in a row. I didn't really expect it this year, but we've managed to do it. Thank you very much for watching indeed. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next 2 episodes involving the French national side, potential trophies there, and then transfers and start of season 4, which will be coming very, very soon. Bye-bye.